Nobody was ready for this. Not the fans, not the media, not even the movement that built them. After days of deafening silence, Candace Owens has finally broken her silence in the wake of the Charlie Kirk family revelations. And what she just said has left the entire political world spinning in a shocking twist. Charlie Kirk's own parents have come forward with emotional, devastating claims about what really happened behind the scenes. And Candace's response has set the internet on fire. The moment hit during a surprise livestream late last night. Candace appeared without warning. No makeup, no lights, no intro music. Just a quiet, heavy silence before she whispered, "They wanted the truth. Well, they got it." And then she started talking for nearly 40 minutes. Candace spoke directly to the camera, her voice breaking at times, her tone raw and furious. She confirmed that Charlie's parents had reached out to her privately before going public. What they told her, she said, changes everything. According to Candace, the revelations weren't just about Charlie's downfall, they were about why he fell. People think this was about politics, about money, about control. It wasn't, she said. It was about betrayal. Not between strangers, but between family. Her words were heavy, final, and they carried an energy that said the war wasn't over. It was just entering its most dangerous stage. Because Candace didn't just defend herself this time, she went for blood. When Charlie Kirk's parents broke their silence, the political world didn't just gasp, it stopped breathing. Their emotional statement, a rare and heartbreaking public letter shared through a conservative media outlet, revealed the kind of secrets that change everything we thought we knew about their son, his marriage, and the chaos-consuming turning point USA. And for days, the internet waited, begged for Candace Owens to respond. Now she finally has. And her words weren't cautious, polished, or filtered through PR. They were vengeful, vulnerable, and volcanic. To understand why this moment feels like the breaking point, you have to go back to where it all began, when Candace and Charlie were the unstoppable duo of the conservative movement. They were the powerhouses, the voices of conviction, the faces of a new wave. Together, they packed arenas, launched viral podcasts, and called themselves warriors for truth. And in those early years, nobody could touch them. But behind the scenes, things weren't so perfect. Insiders whispered that Charlie's wife, Erica Kirk, had begun stepping into meetings, managing his calendar, and most importantly, managing who could reach him. One staffer told the Daily Wire, off record, "You couldn't get to Charlie without going through Erica," and Candace didn't like that. That invisible tension grew into a quiet rivalry, one that exploded publicly after Candace leaked emotional letters Charlie had written to Erica. The fallout was nuclear. Erica accused Candace of betrayal. Charlie tried to stay silent, and fans started picking sides, but nobody expected Charlie's parents to step in. Last week, in a stunning move, John and Diane Kirk released a statement that shattered the silence and painted a very different picture of what was happening behind closed doors. They described watching their son lose himself to ambition and being surrounded by voices that manipulated his trust. Then came the line that sent shockwaves through social media. "The person we raised is not the man the world sees today. He's been changed not by his beliefs, but by those whispering into his ear." The statement didn't mention Candace by name, but fans immediately knew who they meant. Within minutes, #Candace destroyed Charlie trended on X. Conspiracy threads exploded across Reddit, claiming Candace had mentally and emotionally broken the Kirks family dynamic. And just when everyone thought Candace would fire back, she vanished. No tweets, no statements, not a single podcast upload. Until last night. Out of nowhere, Candace went live in what fans are already calling the most powerful, personal, and dangerous moment of her career. There were no filters, no glam, no studio lights, just Candace sitting in a dimly lit room, her hair pulled back, her expression unreadable. She began in a whisper, "They said I changed him. They said I hurt him, but what if I was the only one trying to save him?" That single line detonated across the internet. She spoke slowly, deliberately, as if every word was a wound she had to reopen to let the truth bleed out. "I respected his parents," she said. "I broke bread with them. I prayed with them, but they don't know the conversations I had with Charlie at 2:00 a.m. They don't know what he told me about the pressure, the fear, the silence he was living under." Her voice cracked. She looked straight into the camera. He wasn't the golden boy they think they raised anymore. He was exhausted, trapped, and yes, I tried to help him. I told him to get away before it destroyed him. There was chaos. Thousands of fans flooded the stream with comments. "What is she talking about? Did she just say she tried to save him? This is about Erica." "It has to be," Candace continued. They want to talk about loyalty. I was loyal. I kept things I could have exposed. I protected his image even when it meant destroying mine. Then she dropped the quote that instantly became viral. If telling the truth makes me the villain, then maybe villains are the only ones still brave enough to speak. The words hit like a thunderclap. Within seconds, screenshots of her statement went viral. Commentators, influencers, even former Turning Point insiders began weighing in. One source told the Washington Times, "Candace isn't lashing out. She's setting the record straight. There's something she knows that the rest of us don't." But what she said next turned that something into everything. Candace revealed that before Charlie's parents went public, she had been sent a private message from someone claiming to be a close family friend of the Kirks. The message warned her that someone inside Turning Point was feeding information to the family, information designed to make Candace look like the manipulator. Candace read the message live on stream. "They want to erase your name from his story. They want to make you the reason he fell so they don't have to face who pushed him." Her eyes filled with tears. Not the performative kind, but raw, trembling emotion. "That's when I realized this wasn't about me. This was about control." She then claimed that the Kirks' stunning revelations, the same ones making headlines, were built on edited transcripts, distorted truths, and a narrative crafted by people terrified of the truth getting out. "They don't want the truth," she said quietly. "They want a scapegoat, and right now that's me." At that moment, viewers said she looked straight into the camera and whispered, almost like a confession, "But I still love them even now because I know this isn't coming from them. It's coming from someone else pulling their strings." And with that, she ended the stream abruptly, leaving millions with more questions than answers. Who is she referring to? Who's pulling the strings? Rumors are swirling that Candace might be planning to release recordings again to defend herself against what she calls coordinated narrative warfare. And just hours after her broadcast ended, a new leak dropped. An email thread allegedly between Charlie Kirk's parents. An ATP USA executive shows the family requesting verification of timeline discrepancies before releasing their public letter. In other words, they might not have written that statement alone. Now the internet's divided all over again. Half of fans are calling Candace Owens the truth teller, who exposed a system built on manipulation. The other half say she's unraveling, a woman so consumed by control that she can't stand losing the spotlight. Either way, one thing's clear. Her silence is over. Her silence is over. And if that stream was just her first response, then whatever comes next could either clear her name forever or end her career completely. The night Candace Owens broke her silence, nobody expected what came next. Within hours of her emotional live stream, the political internet turned into a war zone. Every outlet, every influencer, every fan desperate to piece together the new puzzle she had just thrown into the chaos. Her words had been clear, but haunting. They don't want the truth. They want a scapegoat. And right now, that's me. Those words ricocheted through the digital echo chamber like bullets. By morning, #Candace and #Kirk re-revelations were trending across every platform. But then, as if fate wanted to turn up the heat, a new leak emerged. Early that day, a conservative journalist posted screenshots of private text messages allegedly exchanged between Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk's mother, Diane Kirk, messages that revealed a level of emotional tension that fans had never imagined. The texts allegedly sent just days before the Kirk parents' public statement were heart-wrenching. Diane, we loved you like family. Candace, please don't make this worse. Candace, you think I want this? I didn't start it, but I won't let your silence bury me. Diane, Charlie's falling apart. He needs peace, not war. Candace, then tell him to stop pretending peace means hiding the truth. That last message, tell him to stop pretending peace means hiding the truth, went viral instantly to fans. It sounded like Candace wasn't just defending herself. She was accusing the entire Kirk family of covering up something big. Within hours, conservative Twitter was ablaze with speculation. What truth is she talking about? Did the Kirks manipulate the narrative to protect Charlie's image? This isn't a feud anymore. It's a collapse. As the storm intensified, Candace posted again. This time on X, her tweet was cryptic, chilling, and direct. When parents protect lies instead of their children, you learn the difference between love and legacy. The internet froze. It was the first time she'd publicly called out Charlie's parents, not by name, but unmistakably. Within minutes, Diane Kirk responded. In a rare and emotional post, she wrote, "We prayed for Candace. We stood by her when no one else would. We're not protecting lies. We're protecting our son from cruelty disguised as truth." Fans were shocked. For the first time, the feud wasn't just between Candace and Charlie. Now, it was family versus firebrand. But the real twist came just hours later because an NLC blower, someone claiming to be a former Turning Point USA staff member, dropped what they called proof that the Kirks are hiding something. They posted screenshots of internal Turning Point emails dated months earlier suggesting that Charlie's parents were looped into private organizational communications long before their neutral statement. One email allegedly read, "Diane, per your request, please see the internal report summary before it goes to the board. Charlie doesn't need to know yet." That line, "Charlie doesn't need to know yet," sent social media into meltdown. If true, it meant Charlie's parents weren't just emotional bystanders. They were actively managing internal narratives behind the scenes. Suddenly, Candace's cryptic words made sense when she said, "They don't want the truth, they want control." Maybe she hadn't been exaggerating, but here's where the story took a darker, more personal turn. In the middle of the frenzy, a recording surfaced, one Candace herself confirmed as authentic during a later post. It was a voicemail she had received from Diane Kirk weeks before everything went public. The message, now heard over 20 million times, began softly, a motherly tone, almost pleading. "Candace, I'm begging you. Don't do this. Don't go public. If you love Charlie, please just stop talking." There was a long pause and then a quiet sigh. "You have no idea what he's been through, what we've been through." The message ended with a chilling whisper. "You'll destroy him, Candace, and he'll never forgive you." The audio spread like wildfire. Every commentator, every fan, every political podcast dissected it second by second. Was it a warning? A threat? A cry for help? Candace reposted the clip with one sentence. "I warned them. Silence has consequences." Her tweet hit 100 million views in 12 hours, and that's when everything broke. Hours later, Charlie Kirk himself, silent for weeks, released a short, somber video on Instagram. He didn't name names. He didn't raise his voice, but his words cut like glass. "I love my parents. I've always loved Candace. But some things should have stayed private. I'm not the person people are making me out to be." He paused, and for the record, "I did keep a letter." The internet exploded. What letter? The same one Erica referenced months ago. Was it another confession? Another piece of evidence? Within minutes, hashtags like #TheLetterLives and #KirkFiles were trending. Even worse, sources close to Candace began whispering that she knew exactly what that letter said, and that she'd been keeping its contents secret to protect Charlie from himself. One insider claimed Candace had that letter in her hands. She didn't leak it because she knew it would end him. Oh, the narrative had completely flipped. Was Candace Owens the villain or the last person left trying to protect the truth? Meanwhile, the Kirk parents issued another statement, this time through their lawyer. "We categorically deny any involvement in organizational matters at Turning Point USA. We stand by our son and pray for peace amid slander and spectacle." But it was too late because that night, Candace dropped the biggest hint yet in a tweet that immediately went viral. She wrote, "If you think the letter is the worst thing in his drawer, think again." That one sentence, "think again," sent the gossip and political worlds into full panic. Every outlet, every insider, every fan started speculating. What's worse than the letter? What could Candace possibly be holding that's bigger than everything already exposed? According to one anonymous source close to the situation, Candace has documentation that changes the entire narrative, and she's waiting for the right moment to release it. That moment, fans believe, could be imminent because right before ending her live stream, Candace looked straight into the camera, her eyes blazing with fury and sadness, and said, "You want to talk about truth? Fine, let's tell all of it." The screen went black.